All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Love, Lust, and Badass Soul. It's your host, CEO Hayes, in the building with my whining ass co-host, Miss Badass Jones. What's going on, AJ?
Uh, it's been a very interesting week. I think my whining video has put people into I don't know, into their feelings in the strangest way.
You got imitators out here.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Roll that back and I file that. Don't even. Not gonna,
I'm
we're
just
not
I, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm gonna leave it there.
gonna get
But
questions about it. And someone's gonna be like, "What? Who's trying to imitate you?" We're not. I'm not. If you come to ask me the question, I'm not gonna answer. And CJ is banned from answering the question. Don't ask.
but so I said to you when we were planning the show that I had a topic I was gonna kind of just hit you with. I know you prepare for all type of fuckery. It's honestly not. This is just something that while I know you don't live in this country, I know that majority of our listeners are American, and your voice needs to be heard on this. I believe because you have a voice that many people respect, that listen to this podcast. And so, not to kind of get too serious, we'll pick normal energy back up. But what has been your opinion as someone who lives in Canada, but also just a woman, to see the abortion laws that are coming down in the United States?
If you don't have a uterus, if you don't have fallopian tubes, if you don't have a vaginal canal, if you don't have a vagina, your opinion counts for fuck all. Period. And it's crazy, right? Because my daughter sent me this. I don't know if it was an article or a tweet, but she sent me something where basically this 11-year-old girl was raped, and by the time she had told her parents or her mom or whoever what had happened, according to the statute of limitations on getting an abortion, she was past the due date, and so
Mm-hmm.
now forcing this child to carry to term a baby as a result of a rape. So you're punishing a child and forcing her to have a child that she doesn't want. And so for 9 months, she has to live this trauma day in and day out. And I don't understand that. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you know, you have poverty in America, but yet you're going to say to people, okay, well, the fetus has rights and the mother doesn't have any rights. So past a certain due date, you're no longer allowed to terminate the life of a fetus. But the craziest thing is, EJ, at 3 months, if you were to pull the fetus out of the body, like if the fetus was born prematurely, it would die. It would die. It would die because nothing is significantly developed. So you want to tell me because there's a heartbeat, you're going to take away someone's right to choose what the fuck it is that they do with their body? Are you dumb? Like, I want to know what fucking planet we live on. I, there was a point in my life where I wanted to move to the US, and I do still kind of, but you see that kind of fuckery, that every day makes me want to kiss the ground that my mother, of the country my mother moved us to say thank you, because I'm in Canada where that fuckery doesn't happen. And then on top of that, if they go to another state and she has an abortion, she could be charged with murder. But if that baby dropped out of her uterus at 4 months, it would die. It wouldn't survive. If you don't have a vagina, you get no rights to make a fucking decision about a vagina. Period, point blank, end of discussion. If you're a man, unless you're a transgender man and you fully transgendered into a woman, you get no fucking say about what a woman does with her body. How do you feel like you have the right to do that? There's a TV series right now that's I don't know if it's out or if it's coming out, where basically the world population has slowly been decimating, and they have a group of women who are the last fertile women on the planet, and these women are charged with having babies, and you have basically the government decides who can breed these women, when they can breed, how many children they can have, and all this kind of. I feel like that's the direction that the United States of America is moving towards. You know what I mean? I'm hoping this is not a global. Actually, it's not even a global phenomenon. That is just something that is south of the border for here, and just does. You have a moron that's in office, and God knows I can't. I wish I could come to the States to vote. Like, if I could even get an illegal blight to come and vote, I would vote, because I'm surprised he's still alive. I don't know why they haven't killed him yet. Like, Am I gonna get in trouble for saying fuck? What are they gonna do? I'm surprised.
No, you're not the only one who has said that.
What are they gonna do? Come and arrest me? Come blood clot arrest me. Me not care. I don't understand how this man is still in office with the idiocy and the nonsense that comes out of his mouth. If you don't have a vagina, you have no rights and no say. You know what I mean? They're even trying to pass a law now where if you've consented to have sex with somebody and halfway through you decide you don't want to do it anymore,
Yeah, I talked about that in the Waking Soul. That shit is ridiculous to me.
CJ Cordero. You hear me calling your right name? Somebody would have to die. Somebody would have to die. Because if we're fucking and somewhere through, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to do this. Is a bad idea. And I say, you know what? Hold up, you got to stop. And you just say, well, I have rights because you already said yes and we're already halfway through. That's okay, finish. I guarantee you won't walk away with your penis. I will be the last bitch that you fuck. You would never touch our next woman again. Trust me. So anybody who's listening to this, if you decide you want to have sex with me and I stop feeling it and I say like no, and you feel like you want to keep pushing that agenda, it's all right. Go on, finish. Make sure it is the best nut that you ever fucking have because it will be the last blood clot nut to ever get. Trust upon that. You'll be leaving without your penis. I will collect it as a trophy. And I will go sit in jail because I look good in orange. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Well,
hold on. I need a beverage.
That's exactly why I wanted to wait because I didn't want you to kind of prepare your answer. I really wanted the raw reaction to that. And the thing is that I kind of touched on in the Waking Soul, and I made sure that I said I am a man who's speaking on this. So I'm only giving my opinion on what's been passed. Like I feel like there's nothing that I should have a right to say what a woman does with her body as a man. Like now, if once my child is born, goddamn, you damn right I have a right to say. And I even can understand it from the perspective of if somebody says, well, you know what, someone got pregnant, it's half my baby too, I should be a part of the decision to have an abortion. I could kind of understand that perspective, but still, you don't take a woman's right to decide what she does with her body. And like these laws that are basically a bit like, because you know that there are some states that are passing law to where you can't get an abortion after 6 weeks. The fucking baby isn't detectable till 6 weeks, so you've effectively outlaw the fucking abortion. Like stop playing the fucking dumbass. Like I just don't like that. That rubs me the wrong way about it. And it's like just outlaw it if you're gonna outlaw it. Either way, it's wrong. But at the same time, like you're gonna make it 6 weeks. They can't get an abortion after 6 weeks. You tell me what person knows that they're pregnant. So you basically are saying if you don't get an abortion before you know you're pregnant, you can't get one.
But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, right? A lot of women are gonna start. How do I say this so it sounds like proper English? More women are going to be dying. More women are going to be turning up in the hospital hemorrhaging. More women are going to be turning up in the hospital with infections. More women are going to be turning up in the hospital with some sort of internal damage because you know what's going to end up happening? People are going to create secret outlets for people to get abortions illegally. Mm-hmm. People are going to try to take matters into their own hands. And listen to me, one time in the 50s and 60s, before abortions became even legal or a doctor would even touch you, women were using coat hangers to push up inside of themselves to hook the amnion, like the bag, and yank it out and damaging themselves in the process. You know what I mean? I know like back home in Jamaica, there are concoctions and mixtures that people will go into bush to ingest to put themselves into a spontaneous abortion. You know what I mean? You're going to end up having a group of women who are going to harm themselves and other people who out of goodness for wanting to help are going to be damaging women because of this bullshit. That's what's going to end up happening. Like this is what happened in the 50s and 60s when abortions were illegal. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is like a ploy to get women to go on the pill. Like, I don't know if this is a ploy to, you know, like for medical reasons or for like pharmacological.
Well, if they want people to be more on birth control methods like the Mirena and the shots, give everybody fucking healthcare so they can afford the shit.
But you know what, too? It shouldn't just be the responsibility of the woman. So this is my thing, right? Suppose you take the proper precautions. Okay. Suppose you're not on the pill for whatever reason, because, you know, some women's bodies can't tolerate the extra estrogen, right? You use a condom. and the condom breaks and you get pregnant and you don't realize until 3 months down the line, then what? This isn't a baby that either one of you wanted, but now you're being forced to have because of a mishap. Are you fucking kidding me? And I get the thing that you're saying about, like, there are some dads who, they find out the girl's pregnant, they want the baby, she doesn't want the baby, and then there's this whole ugly, my whole thing is like, how do I say this delicately? You don't have to carry the child for 9 months. You don't have to deal with morning sickness or night sickness. You don't have to deal with discomfort. You don't even have to come to a fucking doctor's appointment. You don't even have to be there for the birth. You don't have to be there for any of it. But the woman who's carrying that child, that embryo, that zygote, that fetus, has no choices but to deal with all that shit. Men can very easily say, oh my God, yes, I want my baby. I can't wait to be there for my baby. But reality is, if you don't live with that woman and you guys are not like in any sort of solid committed relationship, 90% of the time she's doing that shit by herself. So that means when she's hungry in the middle of the night, she can't call you to say, oh, can you pick up something and bring it for me? Because chances are you're sleeping or laid up with whoever you're laid up with. If you're not there full time with her, you don't really get a choice on what she decides to do. If she carries the child to term and has the child, absolutely, you have every right to say something. But in that 9 to 9.5 month process, in that 40 weeks of her body doing what it does to bring that child to term, she allows you to have a choice to say something. You don't automatically get a right. Because like I said, at 3 weeks or 6 weeks or 3 months, if that child drops out of her body in the toilet, on the bed, in the shower, wherever, that fetus is dying because nothing is developed enough for it to survive on its own. Period. If you don't have a vagina, you need to sit your ass down quietly somewhere and humble yourself. Plain and simple. You know what's going to take? It's going to take for this law to reverse. One of them senators or governors, their mistresses, even the festival Donald Trump. It's going to take for one of their mistresses to get pregnant with a child that they don't want, and some kind of fucking scandal to come out.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the only thing that's going to fix it.
And I've always said, and I've said, I can't remember whose podcast it was on, but I said there's two things that will get like politicians to start getting their shit together. The one, if gay men could get pregnant, that would be one. Two is if, like you said, they got these side chicks pregnant, and once this abortion law starts kicking in nationwide, they can't get it. I guarantee you, some of these rich white, and even not the politicians, but some of these upper class, richer white men will start pulling their strings to get some of this reversed, because they're the ones who are going to be like, hey, can you imagine the scandal if somebody somebody couldn't get an abortion, and then that woman uses the fact that they can't get an abortion, say, well, I can't get my abortion, my baby's Donald Trump's.
Hold on, even worse. Let it be a Black woman, or let it be a Mexican woman. Let it be one of the cultures that you're trying to vilify in the United States of America. Let the mistress be one of them and see what happens. See how fast that fucking bill gets turned around. Watch out. See how fast.
Well, all right, let's get to our regularly scheduled programming, because I had to get your opinion on that. A, because we hadn't talked about it, and like I said, I know your voice is very well respected in the community, so I wanted to get your opinion on that out. But let's get into the fuckery. So we've done our grown up shit. It's time to get into the fuckery. This first one, listener questions. All right. I'm in a friends with benefit situation, but lately, after every time we fuck, I keep having to have this conversation with him that I'm not his girlfriend. And every time we have this conversation, he gets upset, and then we stop talking for a couple of days. The dick is exceptional, but I can't take the stressful conversations that happen after we fuck. I'm realizing at this point we can't go back to just being friends, so I'm not sure how to navigate moving forward. What would you suggest, and why is it so hard for him to stick to the agreement? Woo! Is this scoop? Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm just but go.
Yeah, baby girl, you're gonna have to cut that off, because if your pum pum is putting him in his feelings, you need to cut it off. Unfortunately, we like our episode that we did many, many, many moons ago about women not carrying their feelings in their vagina. There are some men who carry their feelings in their ball sack, and it spurts out through their penis. And If you're giving them like some good head and if you're giving them some good pum pum and you're chill and down to earth and all those kind of things, sometimes it sways their feelings, you know, especially when they see that you have so much potential to be like a great girlfriend. Unfortunately, there's nothing that you can do to convince him out of his feelings. The only thing that you can do is govern and control yourself and make decisions about your next steps and what it is that you're going to do. If you feel like a friendship is not possible because you can't go backwards and you definitely don't want to be his girlfriend, maybe that there's an out conversation that you need to have with him about, you know, one, we're going to stop sleeping together because it's causing an emotional mental conflict between us, and I don't want to do the back and forth with you, and I don't want to continually have this discussion with you about not being your girlfriend and why I don't want to be your girlfriend. There are very few for me. I feel like there are very few choices in this situation. You know, if he already has romantic feelings, like he can't wheel that back. It is what it is, and he's going to continue to feel that. And every time you have sex with him, he's going to feel that more and more.
Yeah. That
Mad you? Has
the
anyone
thing.
had your head?
Has
You
anybody
serious?
what?
Has anyone's pum pum ever mud up your head?
Never. Because my thing is like, and I've said that, and I don't even say that to sound cocky or anything, because I separate sex from emotion. I separate sex from relationships. Like, it depends on what the situation is. If I know we're just fucking, then we're just fucking. There's nothing you can do to make me catch feelings for you. It's just sex. Um, Now, when she asks what she should do, you got to get out of it. The thing is, this isn't going to change. His feelings are already involved. It's very rare. I mean, it's possible, but it's very rare that someone can get their feelings involved in something like this and then can reel it back in to be able to just have sex. Kind of once that door is open and it's been blown off, that's it. Like, that's it. You got magical pum pum. You did it. Take it as a pat on the back. But sometimes you got to drop people off, and this it's time to drop this one off because he's not ready. And everyone isn't mature enough. And that's the thing. Know what you're getting into. If you
Yeah.
know you're not mature enough to handle just a sexual relationship, then stop just getting into fucking sexual relationships. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, I think people like we talk about it. We talk all the time about how to separate sex from emotion or whatever. Not everyone is going to be able to do that. That's up to you to realize that you can't do that, and then stop giving your damn dick or pussy out to someone if you know you're not going to be able to separate emotions from it.
Yeah. And stop trying to convince yourself that you can convince someone to fall in love with you or to, you know, get into a relationship with you if you give them really good dick or if you eat their pussy really well. Like, and the thing is, like, you know, I will say that I know that that happens a lot with women. They feel like, you know, if I fuck him really good, then he'll leave whoever he's with, or if I suck his dick really good, then he'll see that I'm the woman that he's supposed to be with. Like, we need to cut that bullshit out and stop trying to convince people to be in relationships with us based on good sex. Because if good sex is the foundation of your relationship, you're doomed to fucking failure, period. You know, if you don't have good and healthy conversations, even the kind of conversations where you agree to disagree, you're doomed to failure. If you don't like the person, but you like their sex, you're doomed to failure. You know, people think that loving somebody is the be all and end all in a relationship. And it's cool to love people, but you have to like the person. You know what I mean? Liking the person is the thing that makes you want to spend time with the person. Liking the person is the thing that, you know, makes you say, okay, well, yeah, he chews with his mouth open, but his nose look really cute when he wriggles it while he's chewing with his mouth open. It's liking a person is the emotion that helps you get over the annoyances and the hurdles and makes you want to stay. Love is the deeper emotion, you know what I mean? Because it's what you built your relationship on with a person.
Uh
Like, I love CJ, but I don't always like him because he likes to like take digs at me and tries to come with some
huh.
that me have to beat him sometimes. But you know what I mean?
Ooh, that sounds sexy.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I love you and I like you. You know what I mean? I love you because, you know, you're part of my heart, but I like you. I like the camaraderie. I like your character. I like your smile. I like, you know, sometimes you have one, two good jokes. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much that I like about you that there's no way for me to stop loving you. But you can love a person and not like them and never want to talk to them again, you know? Aside from all of that, sex is not a foundation for any type of relationship. If you're trying to get her to like you by flinging good dick up inside of her, the only thing she's gonna like is that good dick inside of her. She may think you're a tool. She may think that you're an absolute fuck boy with a golden penis, and the only part of you that she likes is your penis. You know, stop trying to develop these relationships built on sex. They're never going to work. ever.